So when you think of the goddess Kali, what's the first image that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's pretty intense, right? A terrifying figure, necklace of skulls, maybe a little bloodthirsty. And look, you're not wrong. But that image, which is absolutely meant to be shocking, is really just the cover of a much deeper, more incredible book. So together, let's flip past that first impression and get to the profound truth of who she really is.
Here's the journey we're gonna take. First, we'll confront that fearsome image head-on. Then, we'll start decoding what all those wild symbols actually mean. We'll get into her very purposeful rage, meet her other side as a compassionate mother, and finally, wrap our heads around the untamed, liberating truth she represents.
All right, so let's just start with what's right in front of us. Kali's appearance is, to put it mildly, shocking, and that is 100% on purpose. The people who first envisioned her weren't trying to create a gentle, comforting figure. Not at all. They were trying to say something raw, something powerful about the very nature of reality. Which, of course, brings up the big question, why this image?
I mean, this quote just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? It throws all the things we're taught to fear right in our face. Death, violence, chaos. See, Kali isn't a goddess of easy answers or simple comforts. She is the goddess of radical and, yeah, sometimes terrifying transformation.
And this is that classic picture we all have. The dark skin, either black or deep dark blue, the wild, crazy hair, that famous red tongue hanging out, and, of course, a necklace of severed heads and a literal skirt made of human arms. She's holding weapons, but sometimes also her hands are in a gesture of blessing. It's just a total sensory overload of things that scream danger.
And this is really the question we have to grapple with. Is she just the goddess of random, mindless destruction? Is this all just chaos for the sake of chaos? Or, and this is the key, is every single one of these terrifying details a symbol, a clue pointing to a much, much deeper spiritual truth? Let's find out.
Okay, so let's put on our detective hats and decode this image piece by piece. We're going to look at her most famous features and peel back the layers to see what's really going on beneath the surface.
First up, her skin color. Now, our brains might jump to dark means evil, but that's not it at all. Her black or dark blue skin actually represents the infinite, formless void. Think of it like deep space, the cosmic womb where everything begins and where everything eventually returns. She is pure potential, beyond any shape or label. Now, for that gruesome garland of skulls. It looks horrifying, but it's secretly a symbol of incredible wisdom. There are 51 skulls. And that number is no accident. It matches the 51 letters of the Sanskrit alphabet. So the skulls tell us she's the source of all language, all knowledge. They also represent something else, the death of the ego, which you got to get rid of to find true spiritual freedom.
And what about that skirt made of arms? Well, those symbolize karma. You know, the whole web of our actions and their consequences. By wearing them, Kali is showing us that she has the power to free her followers from that cycle. She helps them cut through their attachments and let go of all the baggage from their past.
And her famous tongue. This is so cool because it actually tells two very different stories. The first one is fierce. She's using it to lick up and consume all the negativity in the world, literally drinking the blood of demons. But there's another story, and it's a very human one. In a fit of rage, she's dancing so wildly she doesn't realize she's stepped on her husband, Shiva. When she looks down and sees him, she's so shocked and embarrassed she sticks her tongue out. It's this brilliant flash of her dual nature. Cosmic destroyer 1 second, a relatable figure the next.
This leads us perfectly into a story that shows her destructive power isn't just chaos, it's incredibly precise, necessary, and protective. This is the story of the demon Raktabīja, and it completely reframes everything you might think about her violence.
So picture this. The gods are in an impossible fight. They're up against this demon, Raktabīja, who has this insane power. Every time he gets wounded, every single drop of his blood that hits the ground instantly springs up into a brand new, perfect clone of himself. The more they fight him, the bigger his army gets. It's a total nightmare scenario.
Right at this moment of total crisis, the great goddess Durga gets so unbelievably angry that Kali literally bursts out of her forehead. She is pure, concentrated rage. And Kali doesn't fight with normal weapons. No, she does something brilliant. She stretches her enormous tongue out across the entire battlefield and drinks every single drop of Raktabīja's blood before it can even touch the ground. She consumes him and his clones completely, saving the day when no one else could. You see? Her ferocity wasn't random. It was the only possible solution.
Okay,
But here's the big paradox we have to wrestle with. This terrifying, blood-drinking, universe-shaking goddess is also worshipped by millions and millions of people as Kalima, the loving, compassionate mother. How on earth can both of those things be true at the same time?
Well, comparing her to Durga, the goddess she came from, really helps. Durga is radiant, regal, the picture of a universal mother. She protects, she nurtures, she prepares the spiritual seeker. Kali is different. She's dark, terrifying, raw. She doesn't just protect, she liberates you through destruction. She doesn't prepare you, she rips the cage open. They're two sides of the same divine coin, just with very different job descriptions.
So the key takeaway is this. Her devotees see her terrifying power as the ultimate act of love and protection. Think about a mother who yanks her child out of the path of a speeding car. It's not a gentle act, but it's motivated by the fiercest love imaginable. That's Kalima. She destroys the demons of our ego, our fear, and our illusions, because she loves her children that much.
And this all builds up to a really profound idea. In certain spiritual paths, especially Tantra, Kali isn't just a goddess you pray to. Her entire image becomes a kind of tool, a meditation for total liberation by facing reality, all of it, without flinching.
So in these practices, a person might intentionally meditate on Kali's most jarring aspects, the cremation grounds, the skulls, the idea that everything ends. Now, the goal isn't to be morbid. The goal is to use that raw, powerful imagery to absolutely annihilate your own ego and your attachments to things that don't last. By staring right into the face of death and change, you can break free from illusion and realize your true self is part of something infinite. So what can we actually take away from all this? Well, first, we learn to embrace change. Kali shows us that destruction isn't the end, it's just clearing the ground for something new to grow. Second, face your fears. Real courage isn't about pretending darkness doesn't exist, it's about walking right into it to find the truth. And finally, seek real freedom by getting beyond the needs of our own ego.
And it all comes back to this one amazing idea. Whether you see the gentle, nurturing mother like Durga or the fierce, liberating warrior like Kali, you're just looking at two different expressions of the exact same supreme cosmic energy. The same mother who hugs you gently is the one who will tear down your prison walls. So I'll leave you with this. Kali's biggest lesson is that real transformation requires a kind of death. The death of a bad habit, a limiting belief, maybe a version of yourself that's holding you back. So the question she asks every single one of us is this: what do you need to destroy in your life so that you can truly be reborn?